Did you look in the mirror this morning? Show of hands. Of course you did. We all did. Everyone looks in the mirror. Our feet hit the floor. We head to the bathroom for morning relief, and then to the sink where you look in the mirror. What did you see when you looked in the mirror? Seems like looking in the mirror shouldn't require much thought, right? But that first moment, that first glance when you first lock eyes with yourself can be profound and impact the entire course of your day and influence all the other lives you interact with each day. Beyond what you see in the mirror, who do you see? Forget the flaws and imperfections, we all have them, some of us more than others. I'm balding, half gray, wrinkles multiplying, and my left eyelid droops a little bit. So looking in the mirror, do you see someone you love, despise, or are indifferent to? Who is this person looking at you in the mirror? Who you think you see in the mirror, or your current perception of yourself, is not who you are. Rather, it is the result of emotions felt and the influence of interactions you had the day before. Best-selling author Richard Bach said, "Look into a mirror and one thing's sure, what we see is not who we are." You can choose who you see in the mirror. I want you to live the life of your dreams by living as your true self, by seeing that the light in the mirror is you. You can live as your true self by using your senses of seeing and listening. First, see the light in the mirror. Second, listen to your inner voice. And third, use the first two to live as your true self. Sound good? All right, come join me. We're going to go all the way back 20 years ago to law school. So law school is 3 years, and I had memorable moments at the end of each year that had a serious impact on me. So it's the end of the first year, and my friends and I are celebrating. We've just finished final exams, and we're having a good time. And I vividly recall looking in the mirror that night. Now, truth be told, I was a little buzzed. You ever look into a mirror after a couple drinks and everything looks different, or you think you have some profound thought? Well, I look in the mirror, and what I see looking at me are the sad eyes of my childhood friend, Chris Kelly, who's having a tough time finding his way in life and struggling with addiction to drugs and alcohol. But why do I see Chris's sad eyes looking at me? I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm thriving in law school. I may have a little bit of fun with my friends, but I have a bright future ahead of me. This image of seeing Chris's sad eyes sticks with me, and is a marker when I'm not quite operating as my true self. Fast forward a year, and it's now the end of the second year, and it's not quite done yet, and it's almost exam time, and I've been working really hard. And I'm standing in the kitchen next to that bathroom where I was looking in the mirror, and my left foot feels a little warm. I don't know why. I look down thinking maybe the dog just peed here, but there's nothing there. Why does my left foot feel warm? I climb into bed that night, and my left leg starts twitching every couple seconds. I'm up all night long. Within 2 days, I can't lift my left foot, and I'm losing the ability to hold a pen in my right hand. And I'm walking like this. My head is spinning, and my body's deteriorating. I've just been elected class president and editor-in-chief of Law Journal. I'm only 27. What on earth is happening to me? MRIs show that I have lesions on my brain and my spinal cord. This is the onset of multiple sclerosis. I've been pulling all-nighters on the regular, and my nervous system is telling me to slow the heck down. I am relieved, however, when my dad, who's a doctor, tells me that I'm not going to die right now, but that this could get worse. Worse? How is this going to get any worse? I try to pull it together and gain some perspective. I quickly come to terms with the fact that I might end up in a wheelchair. As I'm sitting in the neurologist's office, awaiting more tests and a spinal tap, I head to the bathroom. Distraught, I look in the mirror. But I don't see Chris's sad eyes looking at me. Instead, I see a spark and it hits me. A still small voice from inside says to me, FDR was in a wheelchair, and he did okay. I can do this. I'm not going to sink down in despair and quit. Instead, I'm going to keep going. This is happening for me, not to me. This is happening for me, not to me. Gandhi said, we shut our ears to that still small voice inside. But when you listen, you know what to do. Listening, truly listening to our inner voice in our bodies propels us into our future. And that's what I want for you. I want you to listen to your true self, not in dealing with your MS, but in dealing with your BS. Over the next 3 years, when I overdid it as a young lawyer, I had 2 additional MS flare-ups, where I lost vision in each of my eyes due to lesions of my optic nerves. Our body is miraculous, though, and heals itself when we care for it properly. Thank God, I've now gone almost 18 years without another MS flare-up. But the lesson is simple. We have to listen to our inner voice when it tells us to slow down, just like we have to listen when it tells us to get up and run into our future. But I didn't always listen. In 2008, I started a company to help communities be more sustainable with clean energy. And initially, I was an excited young entrepreneur, but soon I was on the hamster wheel, not loving my work and not working on myself. I continued to see Chris's sad eyes looking at me in the mirror, reminding me that I wasn't living as my true self. After about a decade of not listening, I decided that I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want to start growing and learning and thriving again. I read The Power of Intention by Dr. Wayne Dyer. In it, he recommends to look into a mirror, make eye contact with yourself, and say, I love you, as many times as you can during the day. Sounds easy enough, right? So I try it. Honestly, it feels kind of awkward at first. I've always been a happy, loving person, but like a lot of us, I'm also critical of myself. So when I look in the mirror, I didn't just see love, but I stick with it. And soon, saying I love you in the mirror each morning starts to feel warm and heartfelt. When you see the light and love in yourself, it allows you to see light and love in everyone and everything else. Since then, I've been living in a constant state of love, happiness, and bliss. In my business over the last 16 years, using the light from the sun, I've helped a lot of communities be more sustainable using solar energy. But these solar projects are incredibly complex and take a long time to get done. What I love most about these projects is the end. Not just because the work is done, but for the ribbon cutting. The day we get to celebrate a community realizing the dream of powering their schools with the sun. The reason I love ribbon cuttings is because for a few moments, I get to deliver remarks to inspire students, faculty, and local leaders to accomplish lofty goals. And it dawned on me recently. That's what I'm meant to do. That's what that still small voice inside has been telling me all these years. That's why I saw Chris's sad eyes looking at me in the mirror. Because living as a lawyer and energy executive was not living as my true self. Writing books and inspiring you is my true calling. What is your true calling? What are you meant to do? From the podium, I get to use my voice to inspire others to find their voice. That's why I'm talking to you today, to inspire you to listen to that inner voice, to find your true calling. Have you listened to your inner voice? What is that still small voice inside telling you? In the immortal words of Nelson Mandela, who lived fully through struggle and triumph, there is no passion in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. Before I close, I just want to thank Les Brown for inspiring me to live the life that I'm capable of living, to live as my true self. I also want to thank John Bates for being Yoda and handing me a lightsaber. What I want for you is that you live the life that you're capable of living. To live as your true self. To live the life of your dreams. And how are you going to do that? First, say I love you in the mirror. Second, listen to your inner voice. And third, write down what your inner voice is telling you so that you can take action today to live as your true self. When your feet hit the floor tomorrow morning, head into the bathroom. Stand in front of that mirror, lock eyes with yourself, and say, I love you. And then go spread that light out into the world. The world needs you to shine brightly now more than ever. The world needs you to be at your best, and we need you now. As you awake with intention, put down the phone. Stop scrolling and just listen to that still small voice inside you. What is it telling you? What do you need to do to live as your true self? It's been telling you that for all these years. Listen to it. Whether that still small voice inside you sings a song, writes a book, or fights for freedom, listen to it and get excited by it. Use it to make big plans so you'll be excited to take the first step and the next step and to keep on stepping until you're running into your future. As you listen to yourself and your higher power, write down what you hear. And don't wait. Turn what you wrote down into action you can take today to live the life of your dreams, to live as your true self, to live your life of love, happiness, and bliss. Thank you. I love you.